Let's make sure it flipped over there. It did. Well, hello, everyone. I hope you are enjoying. Did it flip over? Why do I still look like I'm on the wrong screen?
All I see is your press.
Of course. Of course. That's what happens when everything flips over. Oh, this is going to be a wonderful Sass so far. I love every second of it. And I really am in front of the screen right now. And I have no idea what's going on. All right, let's see. Can we see me now? This is a great one. If we can't, I might have to restart this. Can you all see me? Oh, look, there I am. Hi!
I can see you. There you are.
The one camera just does not want to do what it needs to do today. So there you go. We're going to just turn that camera off. I'm going to work on the big camera. Don't worry. It's there. I don't know what is going on because I am there. It's so weird. Let me fix this. Give me 1 second, guys. We're just going to pan this up so you can see me. I will do the things that I need to do. My camera's deciding, no, not today, Nick. Not today. So it is one of those things. Do you love technology as much as I do? Well, hello everyone and welcome to the Sass. Hi, how you doing? How you doing? I'm here. How you doing? Right? I feel like I'm 20,000 feet short right now. This is ridiculous. Hello everyone and welcome to the Sass. My name is Nikki Adamkowitz and behind the scenes today, we have the beautiful Miss Patricia. She is helping out today with all things sassy and the links and all the things that you need. I'll just adjust the camera for today. We got a lot to talk about. Today, we're talking about graduations, and we're going to be talking about stuff from RREM distributors, Slinging Arrow, Sublimation Underground, and Driven by Graphics. The last two are by honorable mention because all the stuff right now is from Slinging Arrow and RREM distributors. Graduations. Let's just get to it, okay? Graduations are in full gear right now. They're going to go from now until the end of June. Here in the Northeast, we're here to the end of June is when we graduate up here. So really, you can be making graduation stuff literally now all the way through the summer. And here's why, because graduation parties happen, right? So as you can see on my table right now, we're going to angle this down just ever so slightly. There we go. You should be able to see what's on my table as we speak. Let me just make sure it's, there we go. Perfect. So here we've got, this is the 2023 table sign and the 2023 what a senior can hold. These come from Slinging Arrow. Now this guy, he is rather large. I have not made designs for him yet. I went looking for some from other designers and I couldn't find any. So we're going to have to make this. If you guys purchase these and you want designs for these, I will happily make them for you. Now it does have a hole up in this one right here. The reason for this hole is so you can hang an actual tassel on there. Now on the 2023 one here, it does not have a hole for the tassel. It is just a decor, basically a tablescape, if you will. All right, so these guys right here are out of Slinging Arrow. This guy is large. I mean, I have a 16 by 20 press, and this is probably about 18 inches wide in length. So you're going to want to have a big press for this and big paper, really, because I wouldn't want to have to try to double press this. The thought of that kind of just scares me, to be honest with you. So we have that right there. We're going to talk about the tablescapes. Now, most times when we're talking about decor, we're talking about the wagon designs from RREM distributors, right? Well, you could use this with the Slinging Arrow 2023. We're actually going to put this back. This stuff right here makes a great table display. You add in the feet, and then let me grab the feet as I drop them. And we're going to press those right now. All right. So you add in the feet. This makes a great table display for for when people bring the cards, maybe the cake table, whatever it may be. This is great decor. Then they can save it, and then it's a little memento for them. Maybe it's a memento for mom or dad, really is what it could be for. But again, we're going to be pressing those right now. We're also going to be pressing the 2023 fan. I didn't realize how popular these were. But again, all of our stuff here in the Northeast is inside. We don't have outdoor events. Even when we were in COVID times, we did not have outdoor sitting arrangements. A lot of you guys in the South sit outside where it's really hot. So these fans come in really handy. For those hot southern suns, right? We also have the stole we're going to press and the flower, just to name a few. And then we're going to get into the umbrella. So let's get through all of this right now. Again, say good evening to Miss Patty, who is behind the helm today. She is helping out with the links and answering questions. This is her first time here. So be gentle, okay? She doesn't ever get to do the back office stuff. So be gentle, all right? And for those who didn't know, Patty's one of the newest mods over at the Sassy Subber. So make sure that if you have any questions, she is there to help. She kind of handles a lot of our back office stuff, our written work, if you will. So that's what Patty's job is. And she volunteered for this. She may never do that again. All right, let's get doing this. I've already taken the sticky stuff off of this, the stuff, the film we put on it. I did this for the flower. It says here, congrats to my favorite grad, right? This way, if you are going to be selling these as a generic, depending on if you're selling them at a trade show or a vendor show or whatever it may be, you can make generic sayings on here. You don't have to have them customized with the person's a name on them, initials, school, none of that stuff. You can absolutely have it to where it's very generic. Now for the fan, again, you could put just a generic saying on here. You don't have to have somebody's picture. I know a lot of times people like to put the kid's picture. Maybe you want to just do the mascot in here. I'll have to take the film off this. Maybe you just want to use the mascot for it. And you know what? That's okay too, because again, maybe you don't want to have to worry about customizing it with somebody's picture, mascot, favorite saying, that kind of stuff. That's exactly what you can also do with these items. I am using photos today so you guys can see what it looks like with a photo. But the designs for today, you will be able to find in the Sassy Subber shop over on Etsy. That's the roses. I did a rose bundle of a bunch of different colors. And then the one I have right now is the school color one in my shop. This one is a black and gold version because a lot of the colleges and whatnot, you'll see them do black and gold as the senior stuff. So we're going to just line this up. Let's see how well I did on my design today. We'll see. This could be a win, a swing and a win, or this could be a hot mess. We're going to go with the way the Sass has started already. We're going to go with hot mess. That's right. Because you know what? It's Monday and it's sassy. All right. We are going to lay some butcher paper down. I've got this taped. Now, I do not pre-press these. They're small enough. I don't really need to. Anything over 6 to 8 inches, you might want to get the moisture content out. So what you do, lay your butcher paper down, protecting our investment here. Lay your substrate face up and paper face down, and then layer it again. And we've got some butcher paper on top. Just for some added protection, we're going to loosen this up just a little and off we go. I'm going to check the comments real quick. Hello, hello, hello. So with graduations, I don't know about you guys in the South, but here in the North, we very rarely have the stoles. This sounds so weird, but it was one of the things that I just didn't have to have was the graduation stoles. Let me see where my sheet is for the stoles. Oh, I might have to print that. Give me 1 second. So we have the stoles. Now, I know I probably would have wanted to use one for when my son Joseph graduated because he was going into the Navy. But as for anything else, it's not actually allowed at graduation for you guys to use the stoles. It's just finally here in our district being allowed, where in other districts, it is common practice. I am just currently printing off the stole one. We'll move on to the other. Just give me a hot second. Pull that off the press. Ugh. We're going to let that cool because in case you didn't know and are blissfully unaware, MDF is hot when it comes off of the press. It can burn your fingers. I just want to let you know that. All right, let's print these and then we'll be good to go. Now, for the stoles, one of the questions I do get asked is, Nikki, do you have to do a full bleed on a stole? Absolutely not. You can do just a regular end piece. You can do it in pieces. It really doesn't matter. It's nothing that has to be too overly crazy for it, because a lot of it just hangs to the back. Now, can you? Absolutely. You're looking at about 36 inches here. So with that said, you are going to have to piece this. There is no two ways around this. Unless you have one of the big Epson printers, you're going to have to piece this. One of the foolproof ways for double piecing and pressing is to cause a break line, meaning you're going to have a white line in there. So add a white stripe in somewhere. That's going to help it. So when you go to press these, you aren't going to have an issue. Now, do you have to press both sides of them? No, you don't. You can press just the front side of them if you want to. Now, besides using them as graduations, you can use these for brides to be, mommies to be. But for today's purpose, it is all about the graduation. And we're only going to be doing a design that's about 18 inches long. That's going to literally, I did it so that it was a gradient and it would fade up into white. And then we did some work on it. It's printing right now. So while that's printing, and if you can't see, I have Charlie with me today. Apparently, Charlie wanted to come visit. All right, so let's see how well I did in my, oh, she's pretty. Look at her. Pretty. I'll get it close up to the camera so y'all can see it much better. Aren't those gorgeous? You could take these, put some floral foam in a pot, put a bunch of these in there, add some moss, and you've got a really pretty display. So this could be for a graduate, it could be for a mom, it could be for anything really. But for this purpose, it is all about the graduation to my favorite grad. You also know what you can do is you can attach on the back side of this one of those money things. So if you're wondering what I'm talking about, on the back of these, you can sit one of those money cards, and now it becomes a gift. So there you go. That's a gift idea. You have the rose for them to keep, and you give them a little gift of money because what grad doesn't like money? So you can definitely do that on the back side of these roses, and then they get to keep it. So you have that. Next up is the fan. Not too shabby. There you go. Really pretty. A lot of this, it's just slightly off, which was a me problem, not a design problem. It's just a me problem. I had shifted it over. So I want to make sure that it stays within the black. I clearly was not paying attention enough, but that's what it looks like when it is all done. I will tell you, you could take a black Sharpie if you needed to, because it is black, and go down the edge of this and you'll never know the difference. But that is what that looks like. Absolutely gorgeous, right? So there is that. All right, we're going to clean that up. Next up is this thing. It's meant for the wagon, but again, this makes a great tablescape. Any of those things that you see for the wagon, if you don't have the wagon, they make great table decor and shelf decor, not just in the wagon. So today we are going to make it for a tablescape. Now I've taken, yes, I have taken the plastic off of that one. We're making a frame. Thank goodness my children let me use their picture all over the interwebs. And then we have this guy. When you're making designs, when I'm sitting here making designs, I make it so it has a bleed. Why does it need a bleed? Because again, you don't want to have it shift in any direction and then have the white showing, because it's the dreaded white, right? So I try to make sure that when I make the designs, there's enough of a bleed. So if you shift it either way, you still get a good print. Now, does it always work that way? Well, no. Sometimes even I make a really tight bleed and you have to pray to the gods that you did it correct. All right, so now let's see how well I did here. Let's see. I think I did it. we're gonna see. One of those wing and a prayer things. I just want to tweak my bleed space because my bleed space is just rather big. So I went big on the bleed space for this. Now, what you can do if you wanted to, let's say somebody wants to reuse this because they have multiple grads coming from the same household. You can do this where it puts a beautiful saying on this and the cap and the graduation and congrats grad. It doesn't have to have their photo. I tell you guys that. Oh, where is that other piece? I don't have this bottom piece. That's because it's for the wagon. So I pulled it out because I didn't want to do it for the wagon. But if you want to do it for the wagon, it says congrats grad at the bottom of that. All right, this is what we're working with, are these right here. So now let's just do this, get some more butcher paper. Always got to have a ton of butcher paper. If you don't know where to get your butcher paper, I get mine at Sam's. It's about $25 for a massive roll of it. And it's gorgeous because it helps me out to do the things. So again, you could do these in color based on the school. You could put the school mascot on here, school name on here. It doesn't have to have somebody's picture, but that's how you can personalize it if you want. On the rose, again, these make great money gifts because you can put the money things right on the back of this thing. They could take it off. They have a gift. You've given them a rose. How beautiful. They can then stick it in whatever. And honestly, if you stuck a bunch of them inside some floral foam and you did a bunch of them, you could do like $5, $10, whatever, and you did a bunch of them on the back of it. It becomes a bouquet, if you will. Absolutely cute idea. Roses, beautiful. All right. So we have that. This is done printing. I'm not going to tell you I'm not worried about pressing these stoles because I 100% am. I don't know why. Probably because it's white. And I have done a full bleed on a stole and you fight with it. As you could see, if you see in the picture here, I added some detail in here so that it would be an easy press for somebody because then they can add all the personalization within 18 inches. I did about a 5-inch space, but keep in mind, this narrows in here. So when this narrows in, you want to make sure that you're within 4.5 inches of wherever you put your design is less than 4.5 inches if you're doing your writing. So 4.5 inches of writing space, a 5-inch, 5.25-inch bleed, because this guy, I'm letting that cool down. This guy is wider than it is here. So for me, all right, you're going to want to make sure that you have it wide enough to cover this, but narrow enough to this. So that's why you need your words. Now you're going to watch me try to, let's see. This goes around the neck that way and that way. And so this is the front here. And that's the front. Well, let's see how fast I can screw this up. Just do it. We're here for it. I got 2 of them. What the heck? All right. So if this, hold on. Okay. Got it. Listen, I screw enough up on this show. I don't need to be doing this one too and have you go, Nikki, this was a hot mess. Welcome to Hot Mess Monday. You're welcome. I'm your host, Nikki. How are you doing? Did I mention it's Monday? Ah, okay. If you can't laugh at yourself, who in the world can you laugh at? And I hope you all are having fun watching this show today because it is. Okay, so now what I want to do is I want to make sure that these are even. I'm not going to lie. I'm very particular. I want to make sure that all of these line up. And I can't believe you can't see that in there. Hold on. Let me see. Drop it down just a little bit. All right. So I want this to be as even as possible. And I hope you guys can see that in the screen now. Perfect. So I'm going to make sure that this tip and this tip are just barely touching. I want to make sure it's straight because when you're wearing it, I want those to line up perfectly on me. So this is why I am literally pressing them side by side because I need them to be even. My OCD will not allow for anything else. So we're going to tape down the point. We're going to smooth it out. Tape it down again. Could you pre-press this? Yes. If it's super wrinkly, please pre-press it. I did not. As you can clearly see, there is a bend mark in here. That's okay. We're going to tape this down really well because I do not want this to shift at all when I go to flip it. So we're going to do the great shift here. Bring this over. And then we're going to put this on. And because I taped it down so good, I could walk around with it and have it not fall. So there's that. So again, like we talked about on these, if you're going to double press these, do yourself a solid and just put in a break mark. Maybe put some gradient in so you can make sure that you have a very successful press. If you want to do the board method, if you will, on this, to press this and double piece it and double press it, by all means, knock yourself out. I don't care what you do. That's the process you're going to have to do is at least at minimum double press it because nobody has a press this big. So even if you have the big Epson printer where you can print this all in one piece, you're still going to have to double press it. So be very careful. For me and for most of us, we have about a 16 by 20 or less, and our printers are 13 by 19 or less. And so we have to compensate for that. Again, putting a break or a gradient on these just literally helps you in the long run to produce these very quickly without having to fight with it. So we're going to drop this down. That's going now. Let's move this. That is some wicked blue. Whoa, I color matched that blue perfect. If that isn't a blue, I'm not sure what is. Holy blue. That's a blue. Let's see how well. Woo! Look at me go. I did it. You know, I need a win. I need a win too. All right, let's put these. All right. So these came with feet. We're going to put the feet on here. Okay. My son Joseph looks very handsome in his blue garb. I can't believe it's been 3 years. He was the COVID graduation. We're going to just let that sit for a hot second. And then I'm not sure how this is supposed to sit, to be honest with you. So let's just, I don't know how this is supposed to sit with these feet. Let's figure it out, shall we, while that cools off? You could do it like that. Trying to put it on here is not going to work. Randy, I don't think this was well thought out. No, I mean, you could put it up like that. I don't know. You'll have to figure that out. That's a you problem. I am really not sure, to be very honest with you, how this is supposed to sit. But at the end of the day, if this was printed and this was printed, this would all make a beautiful tablescape for a graduate. You can put their name on it. It really doesn't matter at this point. But so far, that's what a tablescape could possibly look like. All right. Patty, how are we doing on the comments? We good? You have to unmute.
Yeah, we're very not a lot of comments tonight.
Okay, just making sure. We're breaking her in.
Yeah.
All right,
really.
let's see.
I did volunteer for this. That's true.
You did. All right. So now let's get into what this looks like. It is gorgeous. I'm pulling the tape off. Slow down. They're like, Nikki, show me. I know. Okay. Check that out. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to see me. Hold on. Move this up. Okay. It's going to be hard for you to see me, but you'll understand in a hot second why these needed to be even. This needed to be even. And hopefully you could see it in here. These sit really nice. She did get the longer ones this year. She had the shorter ones last year. These are the perfect length, but how pretty is that? Going from the gold all faded up with the royal blue and this detailing. I put the name of the school and then the class of 2023. You can decide which side it goes on. It could say AP over here or class. It's really a you thing and how you want it to set up. There is no right or wrong way. I want you to know that. Lots of comments in the past about which side what goes on. Honestly, it's your product. You decide. You decide how it sits and what it looks like, because I have searched the interwebs and honestly, there is no right or wrong way. I have seen it done about a trillion ways and that's just how it goes. So we are going with this little bit of detailing. There you go. That is what that looks like. Let's move this out of the way. You have your 2023 fan. And I will see if Randy can cut one of these fans that it's just a rectangle without the 2023, because they can be used for a lot of other things. Retirement parties, holidays, things that happen over the summer. Then we don't have to worry about it saying 2023. I might see if she could do me a generic one, because then we can use it for anything because they're adorable. Then you have your 2023. If you could please throw up their links for RREM distributor, that'd be great. This happens to be her wagon one, not this. This happens to be the wagon one. Insert the graduation one from RREM distributors. And what this is, let me see the link getting up there. It is, but it isn't. I don't know. And let's see. There we go. Oh, it was up there. Sorry, Patty. Okay, so that's from our REM distributors. So you can find the stoles, the graduation wagon, the fans, and so much more. Oh, and the flowers. Where's my flower? All from RREM distributors. All right. If you want to add in the senior 2023, you can get that from Slinging Arrow. Slinging Arrow has the 2023 senior and the senior sign. So if they're going to get pictures taken with, they're at a graduation party, this is a great thing to have in the photos with everybody, not just the senior, but maybe for the senior with their family. This is a great prop to use with their friends, all of that. So they can kind of just say, you know what, we're seniors. This is my party. I'll cry if I want to. So there you go. However they want to celebrate it. You can get those signs from slingingarrow.com. That is with Miss Katie. I will be making designs for these because I could not find any on the interwebs. I was trying to use another designer. I couldn't find them. So that is that for graduations. Remember, graduations isn't for the day of graduation necessarily, where the sign for the 2023 can be used for the day of graduation, but really this stuff is meant for the party. It's meant for decorations around the house to celebrate that graduate. Now, some people will argue with you, what kind of a graduate are we talking about? High school, college? Well, yes, but you also get those parents who are like kindergarten graduation, preschool graduation, and they throw them little parties. They want to feel the love too. And you know what? If they want to, make some designs or whatever and promote it to the graduate for the kindergartner or the preschooler, whatever it may be. I don't care how you do it. Just get out there and promote it. All right, let's set these all aside. Let's see. I'm going to move these all out of my way because this next project is a doozy. If you have never, ever sublimated on an umbrella, let's talk about it, shall we? Yes, I've been sitting with this in my shop, all up and ready to go, and you get to see this guy right here. All right, it's hard to see, but he is sublimated from here all the way down. You're going to say, Nikki, how in the world did you do that? Let me tell you. I'm glad you asked. So what I did is I took this cap off of here. I got these from Home Depot, by the way. These are the Home Depot golf ones. You can get smaller ones. So I took this ring, I slid this off, took all of the insides out. So I clipped the threads. Let's flip this around. I clipped the threads that are here and here, clip those out, and I pop these off. I had this whole thing off. The only thing I had to do, and you're going to go, Nikki, that's a lot of work. I know. But you know what? I wanted to know if I could do it. And if you were going to ask, I needed to tell you. So I wanted to be able to sublimate the full triangle. I didn't do it. I did it in 2 pressings for each little piece. So that's how I did it. I took these out. I had a shell of an umbrella. I pulled it all out. It was easier for me to get on a press. But if you don't want to go through all that, I'm going to show you how to not go through all that. Let's go to it. I can finally close this now. Isn't she pretty though? I mean, seriously, isn't she gorgeous? I mean, that's just stunning. If you can't see it, hopefully you can see it, how pretty it absolutely is. So now I made myself a very pretty umbrella. So there you go. All right. These big golf umbrellas are not for the faint of heart. You really have to sit and think about it. You have to actually put your blood, sweat, and tears in it if you want to do what I did. This is not something you can just grab, go, press, and be done with it. For this particular one, you had to pull it all apart. Like I said, pull this off, pull everything off, and then sub it. Did it make my life easier? Yes. Did I have to fight with it? No. Did I just have to do a couple whip stitches? Yes. Okay, no big deal. I can do that, right? And then you just put it all back together and you have it. But maybe you're not the sewing type, the adventurous type. That's okay. You don't have to be. So let's grab out umbrella number 2. This is going to require some effort. And it's going to require some ingenuity, if you will. Those with smaller presses are going to get this for the win because I was 16 by 20 and I'm about to prove that this is going to be a little bit harder than I want it to be. Okay. So we are only going to do what I call a spot design on this. So you want to basically open it. Now, let me find my pad. You're going to want something to raise up the design because you have plastic tabs that these little pieces click into, and I'll show you in a second. So I'm going to put this down. We're going to adjust the pressure. Umbrellas are so fun. I mean, once you get them pressed, they're gorgeous. Do they make smaller white ones? Absolutely they do. And you could probably take those apart as well. But for me, you can pull these pieces off. You see how I did that? I pulled that right off. But these are the plastic little ends, the caps, that you don't want the heat press to hit. So you have to basically make sure that you get this up high enough to where it doesn't. Now, this is going to get funny real quick, and I don't know how to describe this any other way. So here we go. All right. One thing you have to figure out is how you're going to get your press to do what it is. So again, how do you get your press to be where this is? I have no idea. You're going to have to figure this out for you. I'm about to figure it out for me. Okay. So without burning myself, I'm going to bring this guy as forward as I can. Once you figure it out, you figure it out. That's just how this goes. Okay. I'm going to take this because I do not want these plastic things to touch. Okay. I don't want them to get melted. So this is up high enough, I think, for it to be where it's not going to melt. Okay. You can try to shimmy this back enough too, to where it's not in your press, which that's what we're going to do. Okay. So I think I have it to where I want it. I'm going to reach over really gingerly. Okay. We're going to take this and put this on top. And then we're going to take this and put this on top. And I'm going to pray that this works out well, because again, if you're going to do this, you might want to cut a V-shaped fabric piece so that the bars can sit down in, but we're going to wing it. It's been a while since I've done one of these like this, and there has to be a reason why I haven't done one in a while. So here we go. We're just going to leave it. So we have the butcher paper protecting my little foam piece. We have it spread out. We have my press pulled as far off the closest to the edge as possible. I have it winged out, if you will. And here we go. So could you pull pieces apart, like pull it sort of apart? You probably could, but then again, why pull it apart? If you're going to pull it apart partially, just go the whole way. It's really not that hard to put back together. It maybe took me 5 minutes to put it all back together. Nothing crazy at this. So I have this. Now, could you have protected those plastic pieces? You might have. You can, the Luan isn't thick enough. You want to make sure it's really thick so that it comes in, and yes, you can make it into a triangle piece. I'm using the foam. It's the thick foam. Actually, it's the Nomax pad is what I'm using. But yes, you want to make sure if you're going to use Luan, you want to make sure your Luan is thick enough. It's not that thin Luan. There is thin and thick, believe it or not. Okay.
Nikki, what temp are you pressing at?
395 for 60. And she's gorgeous, because of course she is. Here, hopefully y'all can see that. Ow. Hey, guess what? This is hot. There we go. There you go. Super pretty, right? So I did a big enough design that it works for this particular application. I didn't have to go all the way up to the top of it like I did with the other one. It's still absolutely gorgeous. This measures at about 19 inches, and then its height is about 29 inches. So yes, you could create something that will fit this. That Nomax pad worked perfectly. Yes, again, like Shalata said, you can do a Luan, just make sure it's thick. Just because you have to be able to bypass, these need to sit down on the side of it. The only reason I say foam is because this foam or felt kind of pushes down into it. So that's what the metal's hitting. Where the Luan is literally going to stop. It has no give to it. So I'm afraid that it would be kind of off-gassing. And Shalata maybe have done it this way and absolutely go for it. But isn't that gorgeous? The colors are absolutely beautiful. So let's just do it again, because we're not a fluke around here. Let's go for round 2 on this one. All right, so we're going to do it again. I think I have 2 different designs. I do. So again, you could go in and you could totally take this apart if you wanted to. You don't have to. We're going to come in here. Yes, I'm reusing the paper for this because I really just don't care. If for your purposes, you do not want to reuse your paper, but for just teaching for the moment, I am reusing my butcher paper. Okay, so now, do you have to pre-press this? As you can see, I'm not, because of the bars and me having to hold this and be multitasky. All right, so then we're going to take this, lay it on there. Again, you'll figure out your own method. Let's just put it that way. You will figure out your method to how to do this, because there's really no right or wrong way. I am going to try to get a small white one, just because I would really like to see what an all full bleed would look like. That's my goal, is to get a small white one that I can do, and then I can make my own sassy one if I so choose. So what you put on them is completely up to you. This would definitely be a great thing for graduations. You could put the mascot on there, especially if they're sitting outside. This is a great favor for weddings, bridal showers this summer, whatever it may be. You can make some really beautiful ones, or just cuz, right? Who doesn't need a really pretty umbrella? Because I know I do. So there we go. We got about 16 seconds left on that. You got smacked a few times. Yeah, Yeah, you literally have to like have space when you do an umbrella. This isn't something that you can do really in small quarters. Okay. She's gorgeous because naturally. Okay, there you go. And there is round 2. Hold on. I'm trying not to burn myself. Okay. So there's round 2. The colors on these are absolutely gorgeous. They come out beautiful. So I don't know if we're going to be able to see it because, craziness. But let's see if I can get this in the shot, money shot and all. So I think y'all can see it. There, yep, you can. Okay. So there's side 1. All right, there's side 1, there's side 2, and there you go. And that's all it took. It's really not hard to do these. I did take a picture of the one that I'd already done. I'm going to finish up this one after the Sass so you guys could see what it looks like, so you have comparison pictures. But honestly, it's nothing crazy. This isn't something that has to be hard. I wouldn't recommend putting vinyl on it because of the crinkling and opening it. So definitely try to do it as sublimation. Could you do it on a white or a baby blue or a yellow? Yes, the same color things still apply when it comes to how it presses. No matter what the color background is in sublimation, we have to keep our mind and our due diligence to make sure we know that if we're going to press an image on pink, it's going to make your image look pink. If there's any whites in it, it's going to make sure that it looks pink, right? So just keep that in mind. The same holds true for like shirts and all of that jazz. So white is best, but go rock out with your socks out. Go make something beautiful. Go get small ones. They will be absolutely gorgeous. And there you go. Maybe you even want to make the ones for the babies that you can find that are the lace ones or the lace edge ones, and then sublimate the top of it. I bet you could really make some gorgeous ones, especially for brides. This was something, as on all my years of being a wedding planner, was one of the things the brides love for the summertime were the umbrellas for their guests and for themselves. So especially for those outdoor weddings. So there you go. That's another place that you can market those to, whether or not it's for graduations, weddings, retirement parties, birthday parties. Maybe you're having a luau this summer, whatever it may be. These can definitely come in handy. There you go. All right, so let's just talk about it for a hot second. We talked about everything from our REM distributors. We talked about the stuff from Slinging Arrow. Well, now let me also tell you that there are some other things, and here's my honorable mentions. You could go over to Driven by Graphics and you can get his garden flags. You can also get his car flags, right? Those make great graduation displays for the yard. Go and get those. Maybe you want to head over to Sublimation Underground and maybe you want to get the money cards from her. She has the square money cards that you can use. You can also make a keepsake ornament for her, him or her. I meant to say for her, from Suzanne. So her ornaments also make great keepsakes as well. Don't knock the ornaments this time of year because they're a memory. And what are our trees? Our trees are memories throughout the year. So promote the Christmas ornament throughout the year and promote them as special occasions, because you know what? They're beautiful for the tree. They take your whole year of memories and you put them on an ornament, right? Now's the time to say, hey, do you want to put your graduate's picture on there? This is the time to put it in their mind that that's a great thing to do. Maybe an ultrasound for a baby, maybe a birthday party, a memorable birthday party. It's 21st birthday party, right? Those are memories that could be on the ornaments that you could get from Sublimation Underground. But don't stop there. Get those money cards because those are good all year round for every occasion, every holiday. You can use those money cards that she has. By all means, they are a great gift to have. So don't sleep on Driven by Graphics or Sublimation Underground. Those two folks have some stuff that you could definitely use. Make sure you use those. And then you have Slinging Arrow and RREM Distributor with their graduation stuff as well. Now, don't get me wrong. We also have Apparicium and Blanktastic who do have stuff in their shops, but I have other things that I'm going to be using for them. Like, for an example, Apparicium sells um, the acrylic pictures. You can use those for any occasion. They are absolutely gorgeous. Or her acrylic ornaments, you can use those as well. Maybe you want to head over to Blanktastic. She's got a lot of things over in her shop that you can use for graduation. Look what you have in your wheelhouse is basically the point of this. Look what you have in your wheelhouse. See what blanks you have and how you can spin them into being all things graduation, all things, whatever the event is that you're working on. This has been the Sass for Monday. Thanks for joining me on this, you know what? Craptastic one. You're welcome. Anyway, I don't think I did too shabby. Until then, I'll see you guys all later on the flip side.